expertise in matching the right properties and financing with your specific financial objectives.
Go ahead and adjust that a little bit.
Helping you find the safe and simple approach
There you
to
go.
income-producing real estate.
All right.
If you have any questions about the program or to arrange a consultation, call toll-free 888-595-7779. That's 888.
Computer's up, mic is in,
7779.
ready for takeoff.
Of the Real Estate Show.
And hello, South Florida. Welcome to our Tuesday edition of the Real Estate Show, South Florida's #1 program about real estate and America's longest running daily radio show, all about the topic, well, you guessed it, real estate. We are here live Monday through Friday. That's 5 days a week. We're here live at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and available for you to consume us 5 different ways: on the AM station, on the FM station, on the apps, the iHeartRadio app, TuneIn app, the radio.com app, just to name you. Oh, and WWNN also has their own app that you can download from your cellular store. Then, in addition to that, you can go to our website at automaticlandlord.com. Go to the top of the page where it says The Real Estate Show. Click on there, and it says either listen live if you're here at 5, or you can also listen to any of our broadcasts, our previous broadcasts, on demand. So on your schedule, on your time, just download, go back to the date, the topic that you wanted to listen to. You can see that in the radio show notes. It has it by date in chronological order going backwards. More than 10 years, believe it or not. But we've been on the air now for over 20 years, before the internet was live streaming. For 23 consecutive years, through good times and through bad times, the Real Estate Show has been your lighthouse, your beacon of light for making good and wise real estate investments. We got a great show for you today. I'm real excited about the topic that we've been talking about this week. Last week we were talking about some of the wealth building principles, transforming debt into wealth. We talked about the concept of understanding the difference between good debt and bad debt, and especially recognizing bad debt for what it is, bad debt. And then so what we want to do is we want to transform or eliminate the bad debt, transform it into good debt. And once we have good debt, we can use good debt to create more wealth, equity, and income. So that's the whole premise. So we started talking about that whole topic all of last week. And so now I want to talk a little bit about, we have some strategies for you. And today is our tools, tips, and techniques. So we always like to dive into the things that you can do, the actions that you can take. This is all actionable stuff. Some of it's mindset, and you got to understand that debt is a mindset problem in many cases. And some of it is just habits, the wrong habits or no habits, which is probably just as bad. When you have bad habits, you can identify them, you know how to eliminate them and substitute them with good habits. When you have no habits whatsoever, or no discipline, well, that's a whole different problem altogether. Anyway, in addition to our other 4 different ways, of course, that we're on live on Facebook. On our Facebook page, you can actually watch us while we're on the air. And like my friend John Brown, the best handyman in town, who just said hello on Facebook. Hi to you, John. To Sam out on the West Coast. And when I'm talking about the West Coast, I'm talking about California, IA. And so we've got listeners. They also want to say hi to Anna. Anna, my new friend and colleague in Massachusetts, an excellent EXP agent. And so we've got a lot of different ways for you to consume what we're talking about. We've got a lot of different things that I want to talk about today on the radio show. So I'm going to start out, first of all, by reminding you not only that we're on 5 days a week, 5 p.m. right here, the 5 different ways that I told you, but you can also recap our entire week on Sunday nights. Sunday nights starting at 9 p.m., you just have to log on to the same place you found us here. And starting at 9 p.m., we'll do the rebroadcast of the entire week's shows. So you can either get, small little doses of the Real Estate Show 5 days a week, or get your mega dose on Sunday, 9 p.m. from Monday through Friday. And in addition to the shows being on demand on our website, Automatic Landlord. Now, the first thing that I wanted to talk about is, in addition to those shows, in addition to the recap, we also have workshops throughout the week. And in particular, coming up on Wednesday, that's tomorrow night, we're having a workshop that's really going to tie everything that we're talking about in our show this week. And it's going to be a workshop on a special software and some coaching, if you will, on how to really knock this thing out of the park, how to literally crush your debt, how to shred debt once and for all, how to pay off a mortgage in anywhere between 3 and 7 years. In fact, I rarely do I see it happen in less than 10 or 11 years. Imagine cutting a 30-year mortgage down to 10 years. You cut it down by 1/3. Even if I could show you how to take a 30-year mortgage without altering your financial standards, your personal, habits, what if I could just redirect the way that you're paying your debt and then start shifting your debt? If I could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 15 years, it would be amazing. But the neat thing is, on Wednesday night, I'm going to show you, first of all, how to do that once and for all. Now, for you real estate investors, this is actually even more interesting, because what if I could show you how to pay off mortgages on your rental properties faster? In fact, it becomes a snowball effect. When you start doing it the first time, you pay off your real estate fast the first time. Now you have the ability to go for you to be able to go ahead and get more property, new debt, but now you put that on the acceleration program, and boom, now you're starting to pay off houses and properties faster and faster, building your retirement income bigger and bigger and faster. So we're going to talk about that in our workshop tomorrow night. So if you'd like to attend, it's a free workshop. It's open to our listeners here. Remember, my goal, my objective, and why I do these extra workshops on top of my radio shows, because I want to go deeper, farther, and really lay out in detail the things that I can't completely talk about on the radio show. So if you want to attend, if you want to receive an invitation, a Zoom link to our free workshop tomorrow night, type the word credit. This is what this is all about. Bad credit to good credit to wealth. Text the word credit to 561-861-2366. I'm going to give out that number a couple of times during the radio show. You want to plug this into your cell phone right now. Keep it. It is a permanent number, and it's a constant and continuous source of great information. When I give out the words and I give out the keywords for you to get the information, it's all automatic, just like me, the automatic landlord. And you can get that information again for the invitation to tomorrow night, 8 p.m. online. So you don't have to drive anywhere. Come as you are, in your day pajamas or your night pajamas. We're going to learn a lot about how to cremate debt, and we're going to annihilate it. We're going to pulverize it. So anyway, I want to talk first, as I said, some of this is mindset, and it's attitude, and I hope that you come to today's show and to tomorrow night's workshop with the attitude that you want to break the debt cycle, because this is what I see in many cases, is that people spend a lot of time figuring out how to afford a monthly payment, but not what the price tag of things are. And because they don't look at the price tag, they don't see the hidden costs of bad debt or in debt in general. So instead of making, the solemn promise to the bank, hand over heart, till debt do us, tear us apart, I want you to learn how to break that cycle. And so the first thing you got to start doing is start thinking about the interest. And in tomorrow night's workshop, I'm going to break down and I'm going to show you how, believe it or not, for every dollar that you spend in your monthly budget, if you're like the average American, the most common American, then you are probably spending somewhere around 34.5 cents per dollar just in interest expense on credit cards, car loans, mortgage loans, installment loans, you name it. You're probably spending 1/3 of what you make to pay interest, 1/3 of what you make, 25 to 35% of what you make on taxes. So is it any wonder that if 60, 70% of your money is going for taxes and interest, that it's so hard to get ahead in life? And so just imagine what would it be like if I could show you a way to give you back about 30% of your income, get a raise of about 30% of your income. So it's so easy to forget the price tag of an item when all you're budgeting for is, can I make the monthly payment? And so the next time you're about to swipe your credit card, and it's just remember that that's not the final price you pay. In fact, do you know that if you make the minimum payments on a credit card, that balance can last longer than a mortgage? And most people don't realize that the formula behind what the minimum payment is designed to pay the interest and a fraction. So if you're not sending extra money on your credit card bills and your payments, or not paying the full price in full at the end of the month, this could be a very, 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 very expensive proposition. And if your credit card interest rates is like what I see a lot, anywhere between 12% for a great credit card rate to 19%. I've seen them 29%. I've seen them 39%. Every purchase that you make on a credit card, which is not paid in full, will attract these hefty interest charges. And then if you don't pay, then now you're going to pay interest on interest when your minimum payment sometimes doesn't even cover the minimum interest charge. And so, for example, that $99 dress you just charged will cost you a heck of a lot more if you don't pay your credit card balance off at the end of the month. And it doesn't stop there. That's just one purchase. Imagine that interest on every purchase you make. And what kills me is when people are paying interest on groceries, things that they consumed and have long gone from their household. And they're still paying interest on stuff that doesn't even exist anymore. And that gives you also a little clue about bad debt and good debt also. So the sale price doesn't look as good as it does when you start calculating the interest on there. So think, understand, and that's a big thing, because those who don't understand interest are doomed to pay it. Those that do understand interest are destined to earn it. And that's what I want to, instill here and teach you. So in some cases, for some people, it's time to cut up the credit cards. If you're the kind of person that can't resist a good deal, especially now when you're sitting at home during COVID, surfing on the internet. And so if you're that person that can't resist a good deal and, doesn't pay your credit card off full each month, maybe it's time, if you don't have the discipline to reel that stuff in, maybe it's time to stop spending money that you don't have. And so if you can't show that restraint, take the easy step of grabbing a pair of scissors and cutting up that credit card. Believe me, you'll thank me later. And it will only take a few seconds. And you can save a world of stress and a lot of hardship by getting rid of those things if they're just too tempting. Mindset again. I'll talk a last thing about mindset before we go into the break, but stop trying to impress others. I will tell you that's where I see a big problem all the way along. First of all, they want to carry the fancy gold card, the fancy black card, but a lot of people get caught up in looking at other people's lifestyles and attempt to keep up with them. And here's the worst part, if you really think about it. You try to keep up with the Jones and what they're doing in the boating world. Then you try to keep up with the Smiths and what they're doing in the social world. And then you try to keep up. And all of a sudden, you're trying to keep up with all of these people, and you just can't. There's always going to be somebody out there with a bigger gun, a bigger boat, a bigger house. And it's a losing proposition to try to keep up. So mentally, forget about that. You got to start focusing on that freedom day, the day that I can have no more debt, that the income that comes in automatically through the automatic landlord system is more than what I spend, and in some cases more than what I can spend every month. Then you've turned the corner on what we want to do. So, and the last thing that I want to, is a big tip, and then I'm going to come back and go into some more detail, is stop. When you go shopping, there's two things you can't do. You can't go shopping without a list. Make a list, stick to the list. Number one. Number two, eat before you go shopping, especially when it comes to groceries, because you get the temptation, you see all these things, and you're already hungry, and you're going to find yourself buying things that weren't on the list and were impulse purchases. And that's another great way to just basically kill your budget. Now, next, when we come back, I'm going to start talking about some financial practical things, and then I'm going to lead up into why this is so important for the real estate home buyer, the real estate investor, especially. Everything that I'm saying right now is worth twice as much when you're a real estate investor, and the power you'll see in our workshop. Now, remember, if you're interested, tomorrow night, 8 p.m., you want to attend our workshop, text the word credit to 561-861-2366. We're going to talk about bad credit to good credit to wealth. Again, 561-861-2366. We'll go ahead and take that quick break, but don't touch that dial. We got a lot more information for you on today's show, so I'll be right back. Gerald is in the house. Hey there, how are you doing? Marcelo, Brazil is watching. Faithful, loyal listener, and powerhouse Marcelo. What an incredible broker, building an incredible team in Brazil. So excited to be part of that. Moad is there. Hey there. Simone from Boca Raton is there as well. See who else we got there. Amazing. Yeah. Sam, I am Green Eggs and Ham from Northern California. What's going on? We have our inner circle call tonight. So we're coming back. And welcome back. For those of you just joining us here on The Real Estate Show, my name is Eric Willner. I am your host, as I have been here for the last 23 consecutive years, through good times, through the bad times, through ups and downs in the market, through tight, flat, or appreciating real estate markets, through recessions, and even through the pandemic. The Real Estate Show here has been destined in order to be able to show you the right way, the best way. I always like to say here in the office, when there's a will, there's a way. And when I'm going to show you. But certainly if you listen to the Real Estate Show, where there's a Willner, there's an even better way. And I'm going to show you how to cremate, absolutely annihilate your debt in the fastest, most efficient and effective way possible. And for that, we're doing an in-depth workshop tomorrow night from 8 to 9. It's going to be on Zoom, so you can come from wherever you're listening to us, whether Marcelo in Brazil, whether it's Sam in California, or John right here, and Simone in Boca Raton. You're welcome to come here, and you're definitely going to learn some interesting things. A couple of really cool statistics, and I'm going to just deviate a second from the list of actionable items that I was telling you about yesterday, or right before the show. But did you know that the average American carries about $16,500 in credit card debt? Now, remember we were talking about that 19 to 39% interest rates that are out there. Even if it's a good interest rate of 12, that means that you're paying 1% a month just in interest. And your minimum payment may not cover all that, which means that the balance will grow. But that means that you're paying over $165 a month. That's 1% per month. That's 12%. If you're at 24, that's 2%. So you'd be paying $320 a month. Poof, just in interest, going to absolutely no productive use, just interest on those credit cards. And like I said, how many times do you look at what that balance is, and it's not even something that either you own anymore, something that you ate or consumed, or it's something that is of depreciating value, like clothes, toys, electronics, and all that other stuff. $16,500 is around the average American credit card debt. $180,000 is the average of mortgage debt. And for many of you here in Florida and in Texas and in California especially, the numbers are a lot bigger than that. Then look at average student loan. There's a lot of conversation out there about student loan. I see 6-figure balances on student loan, but the average is $51,000. So about 1/3 as much as a house. And P.S. Yes, it is preventing many millennials from being able to buy their first home because they're still strapped with the student loans. I'm going to show you how to crush that as well in tomorrow night's workshop. Average car loan around $32,000. So just there alone, I'm showing you why it's very important and why we want to definitely have our conversation tomorrow night. So number one, the first thing you do, like I said, transferring bad debt to good debt. One simple way you may already have. Take advantage of new credit card balance transfers, the 0%. Now, if you don't have the credit to do that, if you're not getting those offers, why? Right? Why are you not getting them? They're out there. They're in the mailbox every single day. Oh, they're not coming to your mailbox? Then you definitely want to attend tomorrow night's workshop. Text the word credit to 561-861-2366. I'm going to have a couple of credit tips. That's really not what tomorrow night is about. Tomorrow is about getting rid of debt. But in order for you to take advantage of one of these strategies, it's super helpful. And, imagine going from 19% interest rate down to 0 for a period, an introductory period of 6 months, 12 months, whatever, depending on how good your credit score is. Hey, if your credit isn't that good, did you know, and for those of you out there that don't own a real estate yet, but want to, do you know that I can build your credit using your rent? That's right. I can actually cause your rent to appear as good prompt payments on your credit report. And I'm going to talk about that in tomorrow night's workshop. Again, another reason why you want to text credit to 561-861-2366 to get that special invitation. The credit cards you have, maybe you're not getting those great rates and you're already maxed out. Do you know one way to lower your credit score, one way to lower your or increase your credit score is to increase the limit that you have, because one of the factors is the proportion of how much. So did you know that if you are paying your credit cards, even though you may be near the max, you can call them, ask your credit card provider to do two things. Number one, ask them for a better rate. If you got 19%, say I've been paying this thing like clockwork. Why am I being charged 19% when I know that there's offers out there right now? Maybe you got another one in the mail, and tell them, even if you didn't, tell them I got another offer and I'm considering transferring my balance, but I wanted to see first, since I've had you for a while, can you lower my rate? Most people don't think to do that, but you can ask them to lower your rate, and you can ask them to simply increase your credit. And sometimes they'll do it right on the spot. If you've got good history recently, they will often increase your rate. They want to keep you. So take advantage of new credit card balance transfers. Ask your credit card provider for a better rate. And the last thing on the credit cards is always pay more than the minimum on your credit card. Whatever amount, pay more than the minimum. I'm going to tell you how to figure out how much or which ones to pay first in tomorrow night's workshop. I'll give out the number to reserve your spot in just a second. Another important factor, ask yourself, are you buying something that's a want or a need? What you're about to swipe that credit card or, use the credit to buy, is it a want or is it a need? Try to channel instead, a lot of your shopping excitement, and I'm going to show you how to turn this into actually a very fun game, how to keep score to motivate yourself, how to get out of debt even faster. Imagine if I had a summary way of seeing all of my debt, exactly how much, if I pay this, I'll save that much. If I pay that, I'll save even more. Text the word credit to 561-861-2366 and find out in tomorrow night's workshop. Again, that's from 8 to 9 p.m. That's Eastern Standard Time. It'll be online by invitation only, but you, my listeners, are specially invited to attend that. Anyway, the music is coming in. I've gotten down about halfway through my list. I will go through the whole list on Wednesday night, but that's our tools, tips, and actionable techniques that I'm giving here on our Tuesday. Remember to join us here Monday through Friday, 5 days a week, right here where you're listening to us. Remember to share us out there on your Facebook page. Tell your friends to join us wherever you're listening to us as well. I'll be back here, same place, same time tomorrow. Until then, drive safe, wash those hands, and make it a great day. Bye-bye.
Capital One Group LLC.
All right.
Eric Willner at Capital One Group LLC are available to assist you with your financial needs. If you have any
Power down these videos.
or to
Thank you,
arrange a
Brian.
consultation, call toll-free.
Enjoy. Thank you.
7779. That's 888.
And then we'll wrap that up.